03, Dale Earnhardt style, pure intensity. Gordon Petty and the King's legacy. We carry that fire in this Sim family. We're going real fast and real left. Pedal down, hold your breath. Drafting hard and sliding through the turns, 811 racing. The fire burns real fast and real left. No Hollywood stars, just regular guys. But tonight on the track, we own the skies. From the comfort of home to the virtual wall, we race with heart, we give it our all. 811 strong, we race all night long. We're going real fast and real left. Pedal down, hold your breath. Drafting hard and sliding through the turns, 811 racing. The fire burns. Sunoco fueled, we're wide open, no regret. Terry and Kevin calling every wreck. Real fast and real left. Yeah, we're turning real fast and real left. Trevor, let's go racing, boys. You know it. Real fast and real left. And we're in real fast and real left.
I think we're looking really good. This track is set up great. And it's prime time. Track's got some heat in it, but it's not overly hot. I think we're looking at a huge, great race here today. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Kevin, you got the boys gridded up here?
I do have the boys graded up. Let's jump on into your starting order. On the pole, you have Fury Cam Racing. I believe their newest hire, Mickey Sonadera, in that number 2 car, followed by Terry Hughes, also starting on the front row in second place for 811 Racing. He is the veteran of that team. We're going to see what he can manage after the last preseason race, which went out pretty well for him.
Yeah, you want to talk about a veterans? Look here in third place at John Smith at Nap Daddy Racing, and then starting on the outside of him will be Jack Garrity, who hasn't done a whole bunch of racing here recently, but look at that time. He's only a .1 tenth of a second off from Mickey there.
And starting in fifth is Sinners and Saints Racing Zone Cody Pierce in the number 99. And right next to him is Kyle Cortez at Sentinel Motorsports.
And then starting at seventh is going to be Thomas McLaughlin. His first race here um, in the Sunoco Racing League. We'll see how he does here tonight. And then starting on the outside of him in the eighth place spot is going to be Nicholas Griffey from Venom 6 Racing. Also his first race here tonight in the 24 car.
And then starting in ninth, Gage Hunt, also for 811 Racing, in that number 1 Logitech Ford Mustang. And then on his outside is Tony Swain, Fury Cam Racing, I believe, another new hire out of them, in that number 7 car.
And then starting back here in the 11th place spot will be Trent Hughes for 811 Racing. Um, kind of shocker that he didn't put up a better lap here tonight. Almost a full second off of the leaders there. And then on the outside of him will be Chris Knighty starting back here in 12th place in that triple deuce. Another shocker, almost a second off from the guys in front of him.
Looks like the boys back at the shop, the 81 team, are keeping some secrets about the setups here today. As you see, 9th, 11th, and 12th for all the guys in 811, aside from the team owner who starts in P2.
Yeah, I wonder how mad them boys are gonna be here once they figure out what's going on.
As we're rolling off and you see the camera pointed at that beautiful First Bank Alabama 81 Ford Mustang Terry Hughes.
Yeah, man, that right there is one beautiful car. Let's see if we can get all this extra stuff off your screen here and see if we can get the rest of this stuff pulled up. There we go. Oh, and the two guys we missed out back here in the back. See, we got Troy Sands starting up here at from Sinners and Saints Racing in the 48 car. Looks like he's going to be starting in the 14th position. And then we got Ty Robertson in the 9 car starting down here in the 13th position.
Ty Robertson is going to be his first race here. We've seen a lot of success out of him in other leagues and even in official races. So opting to start from the pits or from the back is an interesting call. I'm sure we're going to see him move himself up in ranks and give himself a challenge.
Oh, for sure. That's probably why he wanted to start in the back here tonight. Took the EOL early.
His car is about to pull off on him. We are about to go green. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn and nope, it's a little too late. We're green here, week 1 at ChicagoLand. There just gets the nose out in front of Terry Hughes. Terry Hughes is going to be able to rocket that momentum on the high side fast. Back stretch.
Let's see if that outside line gets to work in here early for that 81 car. That outside line normally is going to eat your tires up here early, but it looks like it's going to work for the 81 and the 40 as both of them get clear here of the 2 car.
Not a great start there, but it could all be calculated knowing that this track wants to run and hoping that Hughes and Garrity might be chewing up their tires.
As we have some smoke here, looks like it might have been somebody grilling out there on the infield. So Kevin, when you get out here early in the front, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to pull away, or are you trying to just want to manage the gap to the guys behind you?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends. You got to feel out your competition, and it's hard to do on the 3rd lap of the race. But ideally, you want to stay out in front of everybody with that clean air. If you can manage your tires and open up the gap, great. I would do that. But it seems like Terry Hughes has just found a pace that's good for him, and he's just trying to keep his enemies close and keep that dirty air on the front of Kyle Cortez's car, as we've seen him work himself up to the top 2 here. And see if he has a move to try and put on Terry Hughes.
And that's another guy that we've been starting to talk about here early, is Kyle Cortez. That is one fast car that we've seen in the preseason. Really wanted to see that car in the victory lane here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Jack Garrity, Mickey Sonadera, it's kind of the same guys running up front that we've seen in the preseason. So it's going to be a big battle, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of lead changes throughout the race and throughout the season.
As everybody starts to single file out here, I don't think there's going to be too many battles going on here early, as everyone is just kind of playing the game.
Jack Garrity looking on the inside going into turn 3 on that last lap there. And it looks like he got a little bit of tight, got into the air of the car in front of him and had a bit of a rough corner, but he's able to manage and he gets another shot at it. Back as Kyle Cortez looks to the low side, gets a little bit tight, and he's going to file up back again behind Terry Hughes. And that's exactly what he wants to see. Once you get somebody trying to look on the low side, once they get behind you, there's just no more downforce due to that low pressure air off the track. So they don't really have much grip, and they just kind of have to salvage the corner the best they can. As you see Jack Garrity trying to make a move around the outside of Kyle Cortez. Just not quite enough momentum to try and make anything of it. But you see he's just kind of half a car width off of Kyle Cortez entering that corner, and it gives him a lot better momentum and downforce going through there.
And as we saw Mickey fall off from the pole here, he hasn't really fell that far back. He's only back to 4th. I wonder if he's thinking maybe I can save a little bit of tire here early, or maybe some fuel for the long run.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's thinking. And with the drafts, you're able to stay up tight with everybody. And he's just doing what he can to not get down the road. You see Kyle Cortez get a little tight there and up into Jack Garrity. But they brush it off and move on.
And you see Jonathan Smith bring himself up into the picture here. As they go to
He's the one you got to watch out
wide
for.
here into 2. And then all this battle in here is just letting Terry Hughes Jr. just sail away with the lead.
Kyle Cortez just gets a little bit into Jack Garrity, and I wonder if Jack Garrity's going to start racing him a little bit harder. Getting frustrated with him. But Jonathan Smith, we've seen a lot in the past that he will stay quiet all race, and he will come out of nowhere towards the end, and he will do what it takes to get a win and take it out from everybody. So I'm curious to see what happens out of that 10 car, and make sure y'all keep an eye on him.
And another guy we haven't talked about much here tonight, or at all, is Cody Pierce. His first ever race here in the Sunoco Racing League. He hasn't had much time with these guys, but I've heard this is a really good driver.
Yeah, and we've seen him around the Discord. You know, he's a really cool guy, and always happy to have conversation and help guys out. And it seems like he's doing a really good job keeping between the mustard and the mayo. And curious to see how he can run a car over the wall around here, because it does get a lot harder. As you see him tag the wall there, as you know, one lap you have all the grip you need, and then you get your tires just a little too hot, and the car just will not turn coming out of turn 4.
As you see Ty Robertson all the way up 7 positions right now, from last place up to 6th, battling for up to 7th, battling for 6th right now.
Bounty, he's not done.
No, he's going to drive that car all the way to the front, and I bet he probably lose a ton of laps here tonight.
I'm sure. Even silently in 6th and 7th place, he's somebody you got to worry about and make sure that you're checking all your boxes and not making a single mistake to keep him as far behind you as you can.
And then behind him right now is Thomas McLaughlin. His first ever Sunoco year. We don't really know much about Thomas. You know anything there, Kevin?
Yeah, I talked with him a couple times off track. He is just obsessed with Busch Apple. So I don't really know if there's much going on in there, aside from just thinking about how he's hoping he can finish this race, or maybe get a caution so he can take a sip of this Busch Apple. But you see him wheeling it and feeling it in that 69 car. I'm very excited to see what we see out of that 69.
I bet his water bottle is filled to the brim with a Busch Apple.
Oh, I'm sure. But you see him just staying content, staying in clean air, and I'm thinking that's going to pay off for him, certainly in the long run. We'll see what it brings.
And as I see up here For some reason, Gage Hunt is well off the pace. He is 26 seconds back and on the verge of going a lap down already.
Yeah, I can't see that being, might be a spin. He may have had a spin earlier, maybe some contact with somebody else. But that is not what you want to see for 811 Racing in that number 1 car.
No, not here early, because if you see the gap right there, that 81 car has already put, he's going to catch him in the next couple of laps if this keeps going on.
Yeah, they're gonna catch up quick, and this could be the start of a bad night for Gage Hunt unless he tries to figure out how he can get himself unlapped and stay competitive. He's just hoping for a caution right now.
What a tough break early here in the first race of the season for Gage Hunt when we had so high hopes for him in this race.
Yeah, and especially the tear he's been on the in the preseason. We saw him with, what was it, 2 second place finishes, or 2 very respectable finishes for somebody who's as young in his iRacing career as himself. I'm excited to see what happens when he can actually stay with the pack and not be so off pace due to something else happening.
And then as we were up there talking about the lap car, look who is up here in second place.
Just with the snap of a finger, but he knows he gets past John Smith, and John Smith is also extremely fast, so I think that played very well into his cards. And I'm wondering if John didn't give him a bit of a struggle trying to get by him. As you see him get so much better corner exit, I think that's going to pay off for John big time.
Or maybe John is just sitting here wondering, what is that line that 9 cars running that can make me a little bit faster in traffic?
Yeah, and you see John does a really good job of keeping that stagger on corner entry to keep some air to his nose. And then he's able to have the grip to arc it down. And even though he's directly behind Ty Robertson, he still has the speed and the grip and the downforce to manage that corner exit. As you see every corner he's pulling off and closing to the bumper of Ty Robertson. But I think he's just saving it, not wanting to get into a battle and just waiting until the time is right. Like possibly right now.
And you just see that 81 car is so good in the middle of the turns. He just drives away from them, but they catch him on corner exit.
Yeah, and that's just the patience. He's trying to save as much tire as he can, be as light on the car as he can, and he's not getting down to that white line, but that's definitely going to keep your momentum up. As in these cars, they don't really have all that much power, so it's similar to the trucks. Keeping your momentum up is the most important thing, and then finding the grip and everything else after that.
And then you just see how these 3 cars, as soon as they just got to the front, they just start driving off from the field, as they have put a 1.2 gap, 1.2 second gap back to Mickey back here in the 4th place position, who's down 3 spots currently.
Yeah, and not the kind of momentum I was hoping to see out of that 2 car. You see the leaders really starting to pull away. I don't know so much if that is tire saving out of Mickey Sonadera, or if he's struggling, if he might be struggling a little bit in that car. You know, the qualifying line and the race line is a lot different. So, you know, maybe if he was running a qualifying line in the race, it might have just killed his tires. Now he's just kind of on damage control.
And as you see, we just have 4 different groups of cars here, as everybody has just kind of split up. Let's see if we can get a battle box up here and see if we can see the difference in time between the leaders and Mickey here. Yeah, as you see here, Ty Robertson. Wow. That's ridiculous.
Impressive, however, expected from that 9 car.
Yeah.
Because when you see what he can do with limited resources and just, you know, he could be in the back with 2 to go and he'll still try and figure something. He will figure something out. and end up with a top 5 at least. As
And
we've
then
seen
here,
him win countless MRL races and have that races.
let's see how the lap car here of Gage Hunt's going to play to get this lead right here.
As you see Ty Robertson, I'm surprised he's looking on the outside. I'm thinking that he must be feeling some wear in his tires now at least, and fighting super hard for the lead like that could be detrimental to his race.
I mean, you never know.
You see
He
he
might
backs
just-
off a really decent bit as Gage Hunt is going to get in the way of Terry Hughes, and just like that, Gage Hunt gets in the way just a little bit.
I wonder if he was mad at the 81.
I mean, that could be. They didn't really have any chance to have any tangles yet this race. I'm not sure why he would be mad at him. I mean, it seemed like he was holding his line to the top side mostly. But yeah, I'm wondering what the 81 was like. I think he might have just gotten a little bit tight, and you know he's had clean air pretty much all night, so he's not used to that dirty air. And
Yeah, and as soon as he
definitely
got
get
it,
you
it
tight.
might have tightened that car up some, and it just sucked into the back of the line.
As Ty Robertson is your new leader, and Terry Hughes, we're going to see if he's been able to save any tires leading out front and maybe get this lead back, or if Jonathan Smith has some extra tires in the bank, or if Ty Robertson is just going to be able to manage this lead. I think every single one of those scenarios has equal opportunity to actually be executed.
That is very true. This right here is absolutely going to go nowhere between these three guys.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up in the top 3 this early in the race, you want to make sure that you're not all battling like crazy and giving up time to the guys in 4th and 5th and so on.
Yeah, as Mickey and Thomas go off and just pull away from the guys that were with them, and it looks like they might be catching our leaders here.
That Busch Apple was definitely a pick-me-up to that 69 car, who looks to the inside of the 2 of Mickey Sonadera and makes up some ground, but is not going to be able to make the pass. And it looks like he's losing a little bit on corner exit. Mickey is probably lifting early so he can get that back stretch and front stretch momentum.
Yeah, Mickey's looking like he might be a little tight on entry there because he can't really get to the bottom.
Yeah, and that would definitely explain the low-speed entries and the faster exits.
See if we can get back up here to our leaders and see, since they're all tight knit back together here, let's see if anybody can is gonna make a move on each other here. I tell you what, 3 of the probably best veterans here in the league, right here leading 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and that's what you expect to see, right? The veterans out front, especially in the front half of the season. But I'm wondering what Mikey Sonadera, Jack Garrity, Kyle Cortez are going to be able to do once they start picking up some things that these guys up front start doing. And I think these races are going to start being a lot more tight-knit.
And then that's some racing you really want to see.
Absolutely. As we're about a third of the way through this race, we're going to bring you to our very first Fast and Loud. welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. You can definitely get a sense for the long run here as you hear that 8 car Kyle Cortez when we were on board had to do so much pedaling in the corner and just being so patient on throttle, or else you're just gonna get tight and end up crashing into the wall. So managing the dirty air and managing your own grip is crucial to a good day. Let's see the 87 here. We haven't really talked about him much. Did also pretty well in the preseason races, but it's not looking like a great day as he's fallen off the pace pretty quickly, back in 12th position.
Yeah, another 811 car that you really weren't expecting to see in the back of the field here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these 811 cars. If everybody except the 81 team just forgot to change their setups from Atlanta. These guys are super busy in these cockpits, and they're wondering what the hell's going on and why they can't drive their car like Terry Hughes.
Unsure on all that. Let's go back up here and let's see if we can get up that 81 as he is still behind that 10 car, but it looks like he has some ass-in damage there.
Yeah, they can definitely get that buffed out if there even is anything beyond just paintwork to be done. Doesn't quite look like it. Just a couple of scratches. I think that's not going to be a huge problem for the 81 team, especially if they're able to bring it down pit road at some point and get that fixed and caution. But you see the 10 of John Smith has fallen off the leader of Ty Robertson. You're wondering if Terry Hughes is also fallen off and that's why he's not trying to make the pass, or if he's just hoping that John will soon fall off and he'll be able to make a move and go for a pass.
It's looking at the 81 can't round the corner as well as he was in the beginning of the race. I'm wondering if something happened to that car, and the reason he has that damage is he got into the wall because of that.
That could certainly be a possibility as you see him just barely tag the wall again. That's why I'm wondering if it's not just cosmetic only and he's just using every piece of that track that he can.
As
you see him look into the inside.
And then as you see, I mean, there's a lot more rubber on the track now than there was at the very beginning of this race.
Yeah, these guys definitely put the rubber line down, and especially the guys in the back that have been using too much tires. You see the 81 gets super tight out, pull way out of the throttle, and 10's just able to rocket his momentum around the top side and stay out front of Terry Hughes with a big deficit now. Terry Hughes about a second behind the leader and about 3/10 behind the 10 of John Smith. So we're gonna see if he can close this gap again. I'm sure he'll be able to make a move eventually, but Ty Robertson just continues to extend his lead after cutting through literally the entire field.
It's insane.
You see a little bit of. Go ahead, Bounty. I'm sorry.
As he was able to save tire even though cutting through the field, as we have our first taker on pit road here, which would be the 87 of Trent Hughes on lap 45.
I saw a little bit of dust kicked up on the apron there, and that would be from that 87 who's taking a short pit. I think that's a good call when you're that far behind, and we're going to see what he's able to make out of that.
As he takes 4 tires and 2 cans of Sunoco racing fuel here, as he's already off and on his way.
And Gage Hunt also now 2 laps down. It's just his day keeps getting worse and worse, especially with Jack Garrity and Trent Hughes also a lap down. Trent Hughes now 2 laps down. It's going to be tough to be able to come back from that, and they're really going to have to dig pretty deep.
Yeah,
you see Mickey Sonadera also down pit road.
See if we can get a look at Mickey here. Here he is.
Right into his box, no issues, no overslide, and got that pole position box, so he'll be able to slide right out and probably have the best pit stop out of the whole field, which is crucial to the day he's having. He's going to need some advantages where he can get them.
Yeah, you want to take him where you can, and he's definitely going to short pit here, especially being one of the fastest cars, being in 4th place, and he was only 4 seconds back, so he should be able to pick up some track position and time here, as those leaders probably are going to take the long run here.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're Ty Robertson and you're not at risk of losing your lead and actually pulling away at a decent pace, you want to just make those tires last as long as you can. So once you get back to get your new tires, they're fresher than everybody, and you can continue to just pull away from the entire field.
And there's going to be some ridiculous lap time set by Mickey here. Let's see what kind of lap times he can put up when he crosses the line this go around. As Thomas McLaughlin goes ahead and enters pit road here. As Mickey passes out, he is over a second and a half quicker than your leader right now.
He's gonna have to manage that though, because you know, when you're in the car right now, you have to assume we're not gonna get any cautions this race because of how green and how strung out this field is. So Mickey Sonadera looks like he might be burning up his tires a little bit. That could, you know, harm any progress he's made up. You know, once you're 20, 30 laps in, and then you have to finish off the race. So we're gonna see what he can manage from that. You see the 69 of Thomas McLaughlin just getting off the pit road after what seems like 4 tires and fuel. I'm sure that's what everybody's call is going to be. I can't see you making a 2-tire stop after 50 laps of green and another 50 laps to go.
Oh no, these boys, the way they've been driving these cars, turning the case in front, you know they are 100% dogging these cars out right now.
Absolutely, and I'm excited to see how the order shakes out once Ty Robertson ends up coming down pit road. I'm sure he'll probably be another lap or so as Kyle Cortez gets into the cone on pit road. I think there's a fee for that.
We have some more takers on pit road here. And here comes your leader, Ty Robertson, sideways coming down pit road. Holy cow!
Is that going to be an unsafe pit entry for him?
I have no idea. It's looking. They're reviewing it right now. We're gonna see here before he leaves his pit box. As he's gonna take 4 tires and 2. No, that is not a black flag. They said he was good to go. He did not touch the grass. That is clean.
Wow. I mean, just excellent driving out of that 9 car, just like you see week in and week out. And it doesn't look like that's going to be too much of a hindrance to his day unless that 10 of John Smith still says he's in the pit. Oh, I'm sure he stayed out an extra lap. Now he's coming down.
Yep,
we're going to see how this shakes out. I'm sure Ty Robertson's going to be able to come out with the lead from this one.
Yep, shows that he led 2 laps here and he came down pit road.
As Ty Robertson into the trial, as Jonathan Smith is probably just pulling out of his box. He's going to have a lot of ground to make up on Ty Robertson there.
And here they come right now. Wonder how far that's going to put him behind. Both Ty Robertson and Terry Hughes coming back up around Jonathan Smith.
Yeah, Jonathan Smith, I'm not sure if he rolled his box or if something happened, but that seems like a much larger gap than it was coming onto pit road.
I mean, as you see all 3 of them right now, they are relatively evenly spread out here. But you have the 40 of Jack Garrity in the mix in the 3rd place spot right now with his early pit stop. But he also pitted 25 laps, I believe, ahead of all of your leaders.
And Mickey Sonadera, who has gotten his pit stop in front of Ty Robertson, also who has gotten his pit stop, seems to be managing the gap well. I can't tell if he's really pulling away much. Yeah, he's pulling away from Ty Robertson. It's a little bit early for that, so we're going to see how Mickey Sonadera is able to manage his car over this run. Because we're absolutely going to see that number next to Ty Robertson on your leaderboard on the left-hand side of your screen. That number is going to end up going down.
Oh yeah.
The question is how far down and if he ends up getting past Mickey Sonadera, because Mickey Sonadera is in a great position right now. as long as he can just manage his stuff and not, make any mistakes.
As Gage Hunt took his second pit stop of the night here.
You're not sure what the strategy is there. When your laps down, you want to stay out as long as you possibly can, even if your car's not driving well. Just to hope for a caution and a waiver round. Possibly some damage issues or whatever might be going on inside of that car.
As you see
down pit
that
road
gap
for the
between
second time.
Mickey out here all by himself entering 3, and then those guys of Ty Robertson, Terry Hughes, and Jonathan Smith starting to dwindle down those 4 seconds coming out of 4.
And I'm wondering if Ty Robertson didn't just get some extra heat and some grip in his tires, or if Mickey Sonadera has gotten some overheat or just lost his tires, because like I said, that he's already hemorrhaged a half a second and he's got 40 laps to go about, so he needs to stay out. He can't be losing a tenth a lap.
You got a battle back here between the 81 and the 9.
That is very good and exactly what Mickey Sonadera wants to see. Every minute that Terry Hughes is side drafting Ty Robertson and they're battling each other just slows the both of them down, because they're both thinking, hey, I'm faster. You just let me out in front and we'll go catch the leader together. But you want to be in second place when you do end up getting to that leader, hence the battle that we have right in front of us. As John Smith in the catbird seat is hoping to see them get into each other, or him just find some momentum around the track, as he may be willing to push it 3 wide as we're getting to the closing laps here, and you need to do whatever you can to put yourself in position to win this race.
And I think they're all thinking here, might as well battle it out, because Mickey might not have enough fuel to even make it to the end anyway.
Wow, I did not even realize that was going to be a factor. As you see, that gap was almost stretched back out to that 4.5 seconds mark. So if the longer they stay side by side, the better it is for Mickey Sonadera, because these guys are going to be hurting their tires and also just slowing each other down in general.
Let's see if we can get that pit strategy back up. Here we go. All right. Mickey pitted in 6 laps before the rest of our leaders. He's been out 15 laps, and they've only been out 9. I don't know if he's going to be able to make that from here. He might.
I think it shouldn't, assuming he got a full tank of fuel, it shouldn't be a fuel issue. But it all comes down to the tires, as they're now single filed out behind him and already back down to a 4.0 second gap. So if he loses a tenth a lap, he'll win this race. So he just needs to manage his pace and let them catch up about a tenth of a lap. About 1/10 a second per lap. As you see, they're down about 3/10 this lap, or will be down 3/10 by the time they get to the start finish, and maybe even 4/10. So Mickey Sonadera is having a rough time handling that car, and he knows that they're coming. So he's just going to have to do what he can to keep his speed up, manage it, and hope that he doesn't get a caution either, because I don't think that's going to be great for him.
No, and he's catching a lap car here of Trent Hughes. Hopefully that doesn't play a factor as well.
And although back to the idea of a caution, we have seen the short run speed out of Mickey Sonadera, and he's got another set in pit road, so maybe he does want to see a caution, especially when he gets the pit from the lead here. He's going to want to see it later in the run for sure, especially if he does end up losing this lead. A caution would play great into the hands of Mickey Sonadera, and if we do end up getting a late caution, I got my money on Mickey Sonadera.
At this point, I don't know who I got my money on, to be honest with you.
I love how it's just such a dynamic race out here, and now down to 3.3 seconds to P2 of Ty Robertson, that number 9 car.
look how almost identical all three of their lines are.
Yeah, and they just have not moved away from each other all night.
As I say, look how identical their lines are. They all spread out.
Well, I mean, they are running, you know, they all want to run the same line, but Jonathan Smith, you see him looking for clean air. You see Terry Hughes looking for clean air. These guys can't just all go in, you know, lined right up, or else you're just going to have no grip and kill your tires.
Let's see if we can run on board here with Terry Hughes. Oh, that's Ty Robertson. Not even Terry Hughes. Let's see if we can get find a Terry Hughes cam.
It looks like Terry Hughes
Oh,
looking
wow.
for a move to the inside with some help of Jonathan Smith. Does he put the slide job? It doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
Oh,
or
it is.
is it? Will we see
It's
a crossover move
plenty.
from Ty Robertson? It does not appear so. So now a new car in second place with 2.7 seconds to the leader and closing quickly with just over 30 laps to go. They're going to end up getting the Mickey Sonadera. I have no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, these guys, what, 3 tenths to 4 tenths a lap? Oh wow, they even put a little gap on Jonathan Smith.
Wow, yeah, I think Terry Hughes was just being patient, waiting for the right moment to try and get around Ty Robertson. Maybe that was his whole plan, just trying to get Ty to use up all his tires when they were battling in that first battle. As you see Ty back way out as he gets the dirty air of the 81 car. 81's just going to fire off the corner, bring it down to about 2-second gap.
He can just roll that corner so good. As he just gets another gap there between him and the 9, but the 9 and the 10 are so good off the corners. They catch him.
And with that draft too, there's a lot of momentum. As you saw, the 9 car didn't get a huge exit advantage versus the 81 car, but just having a little bit of a run plus the draft behind him. Ty Robertson was right on the back bump of that 81 by the time they were going into turn 1. I'm glad he thought better of it. He definitely could have shot for a move on the inside, but it just would have been too much momentum. It would have slowed the both of them down. So smart racing out of all three of these guys as we come to 30 laps to go in the Windy City 100.
All right, let's see if we can get an onboard cam here from the second guy running in line of Ty Robertson.
You see him just being super easy on that wheel, not chopping at it. Make sure that he's still saving his tires because we still do have a very long way to go. As the pace is going to continue to fall off, and he's going to just continue to try and find this clean air as they are right in viewing distance of Mickey Sonadera, who is still behind the 87 lap car of Trent Hughes. We're going to see how he's able to manage this. I think he's just going to get blown right by.
Well, as we're right on board here with Terry Hughes, let's see how he decides to try to make this pass on Mickey.
You see him get tight there in 3 and 4. He cannot spend a lot of time behind Mickey Sonadera.
I think he's going to choose the high side here and try to go around him. As he does it, Mickey got a little tight there, and so does he.
Yeah, Terry had to do a lot of pedaling there. As he's now going to be the new leader. Following behind Trent Hughes, is he going to be able to get past Trent Hughes, or is Trent Hughes on some fresh tires there?
Trent Hughes, I believe, is on the same strategy. No, Trent Hughes is on an older set of tires than these 3 or 4 behind him.
Stays low for the leaders, allowing them to just keep their momentum up on that high side. He should be out of the picture by the end of this stretch. For the top 2 at least, Jonathan Smith is still going to have to go around the high side as Ty Robertson is going to aero block John Smith. Not thinking it's intentionally, he was just looking for some clean air to try and get around Terry Hughes. Holy.
As all the leaders there run identical lap times, and Mickey Sonadero is literally 0.2 seconds off of the leaders on lap times right now.
Yeah, and it's just he's going to continue to lose time, and now he's really just hoping for a caution at any minute now, because this is enough for short run speed. I think Mickey Sonadera wants to keep himself in 4th place here. He's got a very big cushion to Thomas McLaughlin in that 69 car running 5th place, but he wants to see a caution. I'm thinking around 10 to go, because it gives him enough time to get the work done. But not so little time that he's got to brute force his way through everything.
As Ty Robertson
We do know
takes
he
the
has a short
lead
run speed.
again, as Jonathan Smith Jr. almost collide there out of 2. It slows them both down and ends up with a 10 in 2nd place, and Terry Hughes Jr. falling off here in 3rd.
We've seen this before, but this time does Terry Hughes have what it takes to get back into the lead, or at least back at a chance to fight for the lead?
Yeah, Ty Robertson just found an opening and took it immediately. Jonathan Smith just decided to go right with him and not help Terry Hughes Jr. at all, even though they're in the same manufacturer.
That's what is so dangerous about Ty Robertson. He will sit behind you for 20 laps and, you know, just be patient. You're not even worried about him, not thinking about him, until you are. And he's making a move to the inside, and usually he's going to make it stick, especially when he's been patient for so long. If he thinks that he's confident enough to make the move, he's going to make it and usually end up coming out with it. As Jonathan Smith looks to the low side, he's going to have a fender on Ty Robertson as we come into turn 1. Now looking even, as Jonathan Smith doesn't really get up to the door of Ty Robertson, so that's going to hurt his exit speed big time. Or maybe it isn't, as he's just going to have it glued down there with big exit momentum from Ty Robertson.
I don't know, maybe Jonathan Smith has been sitting back there in 3rd place this whole time, just saving tires.
Maybe Jonathan Smith has stolen a page out of the Ty Robertson playbook. As you see on that low side, Jonathan Smith not really using the room that he has on the track. You know, he could be getting up a lot closer to that 9 car and arcing his entry a little bit more, but kind of just staying in the middle of the track and sacrificing momentum because of it, and probably tires too. So hopefully he can get that figured out and get by Ty Robertson.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm in love with that napkin right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, get yourself over to Nat Daddy Racing Designs, as they can make an absolute killer of a paint scheme for whatever car you need. You can get a quote, and they do a kick-ass job. So again, go to Nap Daddy Racing. I believe it's napdaddyracing.com, and tell them the Sunoco Racing you sent.
We don't know what it'll give you, or what it'll do for you, but just let him know.
Because he might give us a gold star for sending somebody to his website.
That'll help.
That would be monumental to my self-esteem.
You have a self-esteem?
Not yet. Head over to napdaddyracingdesigns.com.
And you might get one. As Terry Hughes Jr. is looking to steal that 2nd place spot back from Jonathan Smith.
And I'd be curious to see Hughes' hands through these corners. If he's really fighting a tight condition, or if he's pedaling it. I think he's content with where he wants to be. It doesn't seem like he's fighting the car, and like he has enough drive left to maybe make something happen these last 18 laps. Is Mickey Sonadera also managing to keep pretty tight with the leaders? Last time we checked on him, he was about 4/10 off of Ty Robertson's leader, and he's kind of just staying at 6-7 tenths. And then Thomas McLaughlin, the first car behind everybody, rounding out P5, and 8.7 seconds behind. So it's just these top 5 guys. They don't really have to, or these top 4 guys don't really have to worry about much pressure behind, so they can kind of set their own pace and see what happens.
As Jonathan Smith moves down to the bottom here, trying He saw that Terry Hughes Jr. was going to try to make a move on him. He said, screw it, I'm going to try to make a move on Ty Robertson for the lead. I don't want to drop another spot again.
As you saw them just get a little strung out there, I'm hoping that we could see an alliance from this 10 and 81 car, because you saw they're the same manufacturer. Ty Robertson's that only Chevy. That has to be something that he's worried about in that 9 car.
But he also has his teammate back there in Mickey Sonadera.
Yeah, again, Mickey now down to his second gap. I think he's kind of just
As
riding.
Mickey
just
Sonadera goes to
praying for
pit
caution.
road, as he
Oh,
almost
wow.
spins out. I can't believe he drops early here.
Wow. I thought for sure he was going to be able to make it to the end. And that could be detrimental to his day, because now if he ends up going a lap down behind Trent Hughes or Tony Toad Swain, he will not end up getting the lucky dog and be stuck a lap down. Someone else we haven't talked about much today, Tony Swain. Haven't really seen much of him. I mean, that's also a good thing. He's not wrecking his car. Lap down, battling some issues here, but still managing a really good race and hopefully keep a top 10 for him, as he does have Cody Pierce right behind him as he gets turned around and pushed into the wall. It's a big wreck going into turn 1.
As we were talking about guys needing a caution, here is the big one
no.
piled up in turn 1. Oh,
Talk about
wow.
broadcaster's curse. We had not talked about him all night, and then he just gets turned around by, I didn't even see who that was. It didn't look malicious at all. It looked like a racing incident, but that is not at all what you want to see for the 222 of Chris Knighty, who we also hadn't really talked about much tonight.
Let's see if we can put that thing in reverse. See here, what in the hell just fucking happened? As everything looked cool here. See if we can.
Cody Pierce has a run. He's looking to go on the inside of Tony Swain and Gage Hunt, 7 and 1 respective cars, and looks like an early checkup from the 7 of Tony Swain, and the 99 just tough time reacting to it. Everything we can critique all we want up in the booth here in slow-mo, but I mean, it just happened so quick. And yeah, I'm wondering if there wasn't a little bit of an engine issue or something with that 7 car, because he checked up pretty early there. Going into that corner, I don't know if he was having issues, but you see the back end get lifted up and the flaps come up, keep that 99 from going completely all the way around. Thanks to that AMR safety team and NASCAR for making safe race cars for these guys. Oh no, Kyle Cortez from a while back, and we're deep enough into this run that you can't hit the brakes, you can't turn the wheel, the car just does not want to turn. It brings him straight into one of the wreck cars there, and that is not going to be good at all for that 8 car Kyle Cortez. And certainly not for Chris Knighty in that 222.
And a car that was really not good for, or I don't believe was good for, was Mickey Sonadero, who had just pitted and went a lap down. I don't know if he's going to be registered as the lucky dog, or he's going to be stuck a lap down here.
Yeah, I mean, had Mickey Sonadera stayed out, he would have been okay. Kyle Cortez was caught up in that incident, but looks like Mickey Sonadera is 2 laps down.
Yep, he is now marked as 2 laps down. I believe he got a speeding penalty on pit road.
Dang. Yeah, and that's the thing about these races. If you want to have a good day, you need to literally get everything perfect and then get some luck. And Mickey Sonadera just didn't quite get the luck that he needed.
As all your leaders come down pit road here, you're going to see Ty Robertson, Jonathan Smith, Terry Hughes Jr., Thomas McLaughlin, Troy Sand, I don't know about Kyle Cortez now. Trent Hughes should get his lap back here and be on the lead lap, as everybody should take 4 tires, probably 1 can of Sunoco Racing Fuel, and should be off. As Ty Robertson's probably going to win the... Ty Robertson wins the race off pit road. Jonathan Smith, Terry Hughes Jr., Thomas McLaughlin, and all the other lap cars after that. Man.
Good to see Trent Hughes with his lap back. We're going to see how he's able to hopefully save his race off this restart, because it has not been a good day for him. But I believe the highest position he's ran all day is right now. Now is the time to do it. So we're going to see what these guys can manage coming into this green flag, and hopefully have it be our lone caution of the night.
And I believe we're going to have some cars stay out here to see if they can get their lap back. Let's see if we can work our way through the field here. Yes, as Mickey's going to attempt to get a single lap back, and then you also have Nicholas going to try to get a lap back here as soon as we go green, or come to one to go. As Trent Hughes is going to go ahead after his lucky dog, he's going to go ahead, come down, grab some 4 fresh Goodyear tires, and attempt to see if he can't get that 87 in the winner's circle.
If we could get a look at that 222 car, I think that is a lightning fast pit crew, as it seems that I caught a peek at a front bumper, a brand new front bumper on that 222 car. They got that car fixed up insanely quick, and giving him a chance to get back around here and hopefully fight for a top 10 is monumental for this 222 team and the 8XI team as a whole.
And you just see that 7 car is just demolished. Oh,
Unfortunate
man.
day for Tony Toad Swain.
And that right there is an awesome camera angle sitting right here in the pit box. Just unfortunate that that car is toast.
Toadst. No pun intended. Actually, pun completely intended.
As we are coming to the choose here, looks like a couple guys might not know if those 2 cars up there are going to get their lap back. Looks like everybody should cycle out here to know where they're going to get their lap. Alright. So we're going to start it off here with Ty Robertson here. Going to start on the outside. Terry Hughes Jr. said, fuck it, I'm going to go to the inside since the 10 car Jonathan Smith wants to choose to stay on the outside line. I want to be on the front row. As Thomas McLaughlin chooses to be behind the 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. on the bottom. Troy Sand. Whoa, wait a second. Troy Sand's
good spots
way back
gained
there.
by that 69 car Thomas McLaughlin, but Troy Sand.
He dropped there. Jack Garrity comes up. Yeah, a lap down car on the top side here, mixed in with the field.
Interesting.
Interesting how that
I don't
works
know how that works.
But alright. But let's get ready for this restart.
As your pace truck is going to pull down on a pit road, and we are going to go green, green, green. Ty Robertson with an amazing start off of Terry Hughes. He's going to get clear, and Jonathan Smith likely going to be able to get to the outside, but it does not appear so. It's Terry Hughes is going to look to the inside and not try and move around the top of Ty Robertson.
Terry Hughes. As Ty chooses the high side here, Terry Hughes Jr. chooses the bottom. The 10 car Jonathan Smith doesn't know where to go. He just doesn't want to get aero blocked.
Yeah, I think if you're Terry Hughes and you see Ty Robertson going to the top side at every corner, I don't know if he's going to make it a habit. He is. If I'm Terry Hughes, I want to just guard second place and save a little bit of tire. You know, it's a short run. But if you can save that little bit of tire,
As
Ty
there's a
Robertson's
spin on the
gonna
backstretch.
overheat his. Oh no, is that Trent Hughes?
Trent Hughes is spun around to 24, sitting on
no.
the backstretch. Is there going to be a caution? Looks like everybody
Does
got
not
everything
appear
going.
so.
As we jump
Oh, it
back
could
up
have been
here
a
to
great day for
leaders.
Trent Hughes, but luckily he doesn't lose any positions due to everybody behind him being a lap car. So that's good news for the 87 car. But yeah, if Ty Robertson's going to continue to take the top side every corner here. You want to just keep your tires cool and go for that move on the last lap. Coming to 6 laps to go, the 9 car continues to lead of Ty Robertson in front of Terry Hughes, Jonathan Smith, Thomas McLaughlin, and Troy Sam to round out the top 5.
As Jonathan Smith tries to use the lock here, as Terry Hughes Jr. would like to use the top to get a run on Ty Robertson. It's kind of hard to do when both of you are running the top.
Thomas McLaughlin throwing it in there pretty deep and having to check up a good bit, allowing Jonathan Smith to continue his momentum to the outside. And work up to the back bumper of Terry Hughes. I'm wondering if we're not going to see a little bit of teamwork as Ty Robertson starts to extend the lead a little bit.
Yeah, I think that 81 car needs to bring it back down to the bottom. That's where he's been his best all night long. I don't think he needs to try to find a different line now. We're a little too late in the race with 5 to go.
And once again, to no surprise, you see the 9, the 81, and the 10 all battling out the lead once again. The veteran drivers did exactly what they needed to do to get themselves in this position. Now it's a matter of, can Ty Robertson keep this lead? And if not, who is going to prevail between Jonathan Smith and Terry Hughes? Or could it be Thomas McLaughlin and Mickey Sonandera, who quietly sit back there, although Mickey Sonandera is a lap down? Thomas McLaughlin still has equal a chance as the guys in front of him to lock down a win here.
As that 9 car, once again, is just pulling away from Terry Hughes Jr. He's going to stretch it out to a 10th as Terry Hughes Jr. closes down a 10th here. As Ty Robertson is just trying everything he can to break that draft to the 81, but he closes the gap here on the bottom. Just can't get that run on exit like that 10 and that 9 car can.
And it looks like the 10 does have a run. Is he going to try and use it on the 81? It does not. As he gets a little bit of dirty air, but now back into the clean air for that 10 car, Jonathan Smith. As we're going to be coming to the white flag off turn 4 here once we do get there. Now going into turn 3, Terry Hughes continuing to look to the bottom side, hoping to just find some sort of grip there that he hasn't found before and get past Ty Robertson. As you come to the white flag, Ty Robertson with plenty of gap. We'll see if Terry Hughes goes for the full desperation bump and run coming into turn 3, but it does not look like he's going to have the momentum off of turn 2 to get there. Or will he, as Jonathan Smith might be on the outside and he's got to give up that line. Terry Hughes is going to stay to the bottom. He's going to try and dig it out, but it's not going to be enough as Ty Robertson comes off of turn 4 for the final time to win the Windy City 100 here at ChicagoLand, week 1 of the ARCA Sunoco series.
What a race between those 3 drivers right there. Wow.
And you see they're all eager to give Ty that congratulations as these guys just have a ton of fun every time getting up here. There's a little bit of tangle on the backstretch it looks like, and some damage for the number 1 car. Not sure what that's about, but Ty Robertson, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is about him as he manages to go from worst to first and pass the entire field early in the race, and then just able to manage his stuff towards the end. Still having to battle Jonathan Smith and Terry Hughes. But in the end, it's the 9 car doing the front stretch burnouts.
And that is not something anywhere close to new for this 9 car. He can drive it from any part of the field on any track and get either a top 5 or a win. It does not matter.
Certainly a high-skilled driver, and excited to see what we have in store for us in the future for him.
I'm ready to see this man get his opportunity in the Coke series here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he's been doing some participation in the qualifying series and been doing pretty well for himself. So hopefully you'd like to see him enter that free agency period and get picked up and run for the Sunoco series.
There you have it, guys. The official results for you. Oh wow, that's not official results. That's definitely qualifying.
Let's
All right.
qualify in there. Jim was having such a great race too, and
He
now we
was
catch him asleep right at the end here.
every time.
So another pay cut for him, but that's his problem. As we bring you into your race results, your winner from Fury Cam Racing, Ty Robertson, number 2, Terry Hughes Jr. for 811 Racing.
Then you have Jonathan Smith and Thomas McLaughlin and Troy Sand rounding out your top five here. And then Trent Hughes. Man, what a rough one he had today. Ends up getting his lap back and then pulling out a P6, but ended up getting spun on the backstretch there with what, six to go,
Yep.
and didn't
Yeah,
get
it
his
was right off that
opportunity
restart.
and didn't get an opportunity to even fight for the win after getting his lap back.
But a P6 after all that is not the worst day possible, as Mickey Sonadera finishes behind him, the first car lap down for Fury Cam Racing. Then Chris Knighty in that triple two car for 811 Racing comes in 8th place, followed by Jack Garrity, privateer in that 40 car. Rounding out the top 10, you have Cody Pierce in that 99 for Sinners and Saints Racing, Gage Hunt in 811 Racing in that number 1 Logitech car, Nicholas Griffey with his ARCA Series debut, new driver to the oval side of things. We kind of poached him over from the GT3 side, but certainly we've seen some improvement out of him, and excited to see what we see in the future from Nicholas Griffey for Venom 6 Racing. And then just a day of terrible luck for Kyle Cortez and Tony Toad Swain for their respective Sentinel Motorsports and Fury Cam Racing, the 8 and 7 car. And that is your finishing order for the week 1 ARCA race at Chicagoland, the Windy City 100.
Man, was that a race. I wish we could have had a little bit better there at the end, but you can't really ask for any better.
No,
Racing
I mean,
out of your top five there at the end.
especially for this being our beginner series, once we start getting the people in here and more series going. I'm thrilled to see what the Cup Series is going to look like. So if you're out here watching at home and you're trying to get yourself on this screen, uh, send us a message, and we'll get you in the Discord. Um, we'd love to have everybody.
And the Discord should be in the bio below or in the comment
There you
section
go.
below. If you want to go ahead and join, just tap that right there and it'll bring you up in here and we'll get you from there. You start down here in the Rookie League and you work your way up from ARCA to Trucks to O'Reilly's all the way up to our Master Class in the Cup. And it's a slow process, yes, but that's how you weed out your best guys to your worst guys, unfortunately. But that's how you get some of this great racing like you just had all race long between these three awesome guys in Ty Robertson, Terry Hughes Jr., and Jonathan Smith. It gets no better than that. These guys right here, for sure, will probably end up in our Cup Series. They are some great drivers, and I can't wait to have Kevin Tankos come out here and race with us. He is a part-timer this season, but I cannot wait to have him out here. He will be up here battling with these guys for sure for a top five every week.
Yeah, another veteran driver, and should just kind of bring to tighten up the competition and make it that much more in depth and just produce even better racing.
And hopefully we can get some of these other guys coached up so that way we can get some even better pack racing at some of these mile and a half and short tracks for you guys. Um, but that does it for us here tonight with the Sunoco Racing League. If you guys want to join, just let us know. Click that link below, and I appreciate we appreciate all y'all stopping by and the entire team for helping us out with this.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. I'm Kevo, this is Bounty, and we are signing off. We will see you in week 2.